Welcome to the Using the Results lesson on the Montana Early Warning System. In this lesson, we will show you ways the EWS results can be used to benefit your school. If you have any questions or concerns about the Montana Early Warning System, please contact Eric Meredith at 406-444-3642 or email at emeredith@mt.gov. Many popular intervention programs used across the state have a pyramid graphic similar to this. Each one seems to differ slightly in the percentage of students that should fall in each tier, but they are all roughly the percentages shown in the slide. 80% for Tier 1, 15% for Tier 2, and 5% for Tier 3. The idea behind these programs is to place the kids in different tiers that give different levels of support to the students that need it. The Montana Early Warning System works well with these intervention programs. There are 3 risk levels that are assigned to each student in the EWS: low risk, at risk, and extreme risk. These 3 risk levels mesh well with the 3 tiers that make up many popular intervention models. Students that are in extreme risk are placed in Tier 3, at risk in Tier 2, and low risk in Tier 1. The slide shows the percent of kids in each of these EWS risk levels, also closely follows the percent of kids that are recommended to be in each of the 3 tiers of these intervention programs. The EWS is designed to identify the students that need help, and using the intervention models that are already in place at many schools, the students can be placed in their correct tier using their EWS results. This slide shows a possible flowchart that includes using the EWS with the popular intervention programs that have Tier 1, 2, and 3. This flowchart shows one way the EWS can be used with other measurements to determine which tier students should be in. If the students have a 40% or higher chance of dropping out, then they are placed in Tier 3. Anything between 15 and 40% puts them in Tier 2, and anything below 15% puts them in Tier 1. Now that you know how to use and read an EWS report, how will that information be applied on an everyday basis in the school? The answer to this is different for every school, depending on the environment in and around the school, and what programs you are already using. First of all, it should be kept in mind that the EWS is a model that is trying to predict the future. In all such models, the results will not be perfect. Basically, what the EWS results from the model are saying is that according to historical data, this is what happens to students that have their particular data. But each student is their own special case. The idea behind the EWS is to identify students so that the proper interventions and help for the student can help them succeed. It is recommended that each school develop an EWS team that meets at a bare minimum at least once a month, preferably once a week. This team should enlist core members such as at least one data person, the principal, counselors, and at least one teacher and other staff members. At each meeting, students should be discussed what is being done for them, how they are doing, if the interventions are working for them, the most recent EWS results, and other topics. Ultimately, the final decision of how to use your EWS at your school is up to each school. Some schools will have a process the EWS will already fit into nicely. Others may have to start a new process to include the EWS. There are many resources now available online for schools that want more information on early warning systems. All one has to do is use a search engine and search for EWS or early warning system. There is a wealth of information out there. The OPI is currently working with the Gates Foundation in a work group of EWS users and developers across the nation. The idea behind this work group is to combine our resources to help develop better early warning systems and better ways to help schools utilize this tool. Montana is one of the nation's leaders in early warning systems and has the only statewide system that uses live data to produce live results at any time during the year. Education Northwest also has developed a series of modules that will help set up your EWS team and apply roles to each member. Certain modules don't apply to Montana schools since they are focused on building an EWS model, and an EWS model has already been built for you. However, there are some very good resources available in the modules along with help using the EWS and setting up a team and their responsibilities at your school. Education Northwest has also created a series of videos that are included in this EWS course. These videos demonstrate the use of the EWS modules and provide more information on using an early warning system in your school. A link to the modules is provided in the slide, and you will need to create a login and password on that site so that your work in the modules can be saved. This slide shows a map of towns and corresponding schools that have uploaded data for their students. In the map, you can see there's a broad spectrum of school sizes and locations that have started using the EWS. Each location uses the EWS at different levels and for different specific purposes. If you have not uploaded data for your school yet, you could ask a town near you for their thoughts on using the EWS and what they get out of it. As was mentioned in a previous lesson, even if your school has not uploaded data into the EWS, chances are good that a student has moved into your school from one of the schools listed in the map and has EWS. Since that student is now enrolled in your school, you can see the EWS results for that student. This is a good way to look at an actual report on one of your students and determine if you want EWS results for all of your students. This concludes the final lesson on the Montana Early Warning System, how to use the EWS results. Keep in mind that work is always being done to improve the EWS, and we would love to hear your feedback, positive or negative. There are currently plans to incorporate a report that would allow you to use the EWS results to determine if the interventions you are using at your school are in fact working. That report will be located in the same location as the 3 reports currently in the EWS. Keep checking back into the EWS for the intervention report.